Good day. On behalf of the Gamma Kappa Omega chapter, we welcome you to our interview. This year, due to the pandemic, our virtual celebration looks a bit different. We will release an interview with current and former members traveling down GKO's memory on the 15th of every month. Be on the lookout for upcoming events. I today am your interviewee. My name is Brianna Clemens. I am the Target 3 Economic Legacy Chairman, and today I have two members of Gamma Kappa Omega chapter. I have Shanita Adams as well as Jordan Kilpatrick. And I'll go ahead and start with Shanita. Just give a brief introduction of yourself, your first last name, your initiation date and chapter, and any positions that you may hold as an officer.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Shanita Adams. I was initiated in Gamma Kappa Omega chapter in 2015. I am currently the anti-treasurer, and it's nice to be here today.
Thank you, Shanita. And you as well, Jordan.
Good afternoon, everyone. I was initiated into Iota Epsilon at SIU Eversville, spring 2016. Currently a member of Gamma Kappa Omega chapter, serving as the vice president. It's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you as well, Jordan. So we'll just go ahead and get right into the interview questions. So we'll start with the history. And this question will go to Shanita. How would the chapter have sustained under COVID-19 restrictions?
Well, because I don't believe it's such a history since we are still dealing with it in the present now. But as we went through the COVID-19, the program manager and her team, they pretty much kicked it into high gear to transform us from physical meetings into the virtual world. They did a great job with making sure that we were safe and that we had the information from corporate office to function as a virtual chapter instead of in person.
Thank you, Shanita. And going on to community challenges, Jordan, this is for you. Who were some of the local advocates in the community or chapter during this time?
So I would have to say Faith Miller. She's always been a mover and a shaker in the community. She's been adamant about, keeping the chapter abreast of any community social issues, national social issues, or state social issues. She's definitely on top of any political issues, whether that's sending emails, whether that's messaging in our small chapter group chat, and then also just making sure that we stay involved, sharing things on social media, letting the community know what's going on, and just making sure that GKO is always, quote unquote, on the map. She's always active in the community, and she currently serves as our chapter's connection chair. So that is also an avenue that she uses to make sure that we are alerted and stay abreast of everything that's going on.
Okay, thank you, Jordan, and also for giving a spotlight on Faith Miller as well. So the next question goes to Shanita. It's kind of based on the same thing as far as like any community challenges regarding the pandemic and just the health crisis that may have affected our chapter or just the organization as a whole.
Well, the community challenges were pretty much not being able to be hands-on and trying to get information to people virtually, trying to make sure that everyone has the supplies that they need. That was definitely during a scarcity of these supplies. So just trying to get the information to the members of the chapter, to the community, and just putting things out there so that everyone can be more knowledgeable about what's going on. So that was a challenge during this time because you're virtual, you're not hands-on, you can't physically take anything to anyone. So everything is pretty much, calling, dropping off, and things of that nature.
Okay, and moving on to conferences, this will go to Jordan. What were conferences and boulets like during this time?
Well, during the pandemic specifically, of course, just like everything else, things were held virtually, much different than what we are used to as members of the sorority. we're used to gathering and it being a huge number that we're all together and we're able to fellowship and learn about the sorority. However, due to the pandemic, all of those things were held virtually. So breakout sessions via Zoom. We didn't have a lot of these social activities that we normally do when we are able to gather in person. So it's been different. It's been a challenge, but lo and behold, the sorority has maintained and sustained, and we're looking forward to being able to gather together in the year 2020. Hopefully that happens for our Central Region Conference.
Thank you. And then Jordan, this also goes back to you again. We're moving on to programs. So how was the chapter able to merge ideas with seasoned and younger sorors just throughout the history of GKO?
So that's been something that we often talk about, as we are a chapter who has a mixture of members. We have what we call our seasoned members, near and dear to us, our seasoned sorors. And these are the members of the chapter who have kind of been not the founders, but have kept the chapter going over the years, who have been the movers and shakers, who have been the innovators of the chapter, and making sure that the chapter kept afloat and that we sustained over the years. As we know, we're celebrating the 80th and coming up on the 81st of next year. So this has been going on for quite some time. But as the years have gone on, we've gotten membership from younger sorors or younger members, and they bring some different things to the chapter. One thing, technology, which we know our young people are innovative in and are knowledgeable more about technology and how things are kind of modernized. And so that was something to kind of, become accustomed to, making sure that we're able to create the Zooms and the PowerPoints and providing the links for people can still sign up for virtual activities and things of that nature. So it was very different during the pandemic, but this is something that we've been working on even before the pandemic hit, which thankfully we have had technology workshops and things like that, which kind of helped bridge that gap. And so programming for us wasn't as difficult for the seasoned members because they have been learning along the way. Our younger members have been consistent in helping them kind of become abreast with all the changes of the technology and just showing them that there is a different route that we can take so that we are still able to provide service to mankind. So that's how we have conquered through this pandemic.
Okay, thank you. And then going to Shanita, it's just going to be based on fundraising within programs and just with the history of GKO, and if you even want to speak on during the pandemic as well.
As far as fundraisers, since I've been a member, we've done everything to selling springtime planting utensils to popcorn sales. One of the biggest fundraisers that I know that we had was the scholarship fundraiser, is scholarship brunch that we've implemented so that we are able to give back to our college-bound students of the community. So the community loved that fundraiser. They love to come out and fellowship and learn what's going on in the community, learn which members of the chapter are doing what and how they can help. So that's one of the biggest fundraisers, is scholarship brunch.
Okay, thank you. And then this next question is also going to go back to you, Shanita. I just want you to briefly define what sisterhood means to you.
Okay, sisterhood. Again, I love the ordeal of sisterhood. I'm an only girl and I have 3 brothers. So I was, just elated to be a part of the sisterhood. But what I consider sisterhood is a unit of women, who create a safe space to be yourself, to uplifting atmosphere, to just exemplify love, to give love, to be loved, and just to be on one accord, to satisfying, unity and humanity, giving back to the community, just a group of women who just love each other.
Okay. And then going to Jordan, what does AKA mean to you?
Oh gosh, where do I start? I have to say AK is near and dear to my heart. It's always meant sisterhood, connection, dependability, belonging, friendship. It brings great networking opportunities if you put yourself in spaces where that's available to you. I would say it's valued, it's etiquette. And for the women who are active and a part, I think it also adds to our womanhood and feminism. I have watched AK since I've been a little girl, as I am a legacy of a mother who has been a member for almost 30 years now. And just being around the members and being around the sorority has taught me lifelong lessons that I will carry with me and that I will pass on to my daughter. I would say it's barrier breaking and culture shifting. And as you look over the years, the values, the mission, the perpetuity of the sorority, it stood tall for all of these years. But the culture has shifted as Black women are evolving and coming to the forefront. And I love that shift. And as we continue to rise, we are changing the world. It sounds so cliche, but I mean, look at our vice president right now sitting in the seat that she does. So Alpha Kappa Alpha continues to rise and evolve. And I'm just excited to be a part of it.
Thank you. Well, that wrap up our questions that we have for you two ladies. I do just want to thank you for extending your time and being able to share your expertise as well as experience within the Gamma Kappa Omega chapter. But before we depart, I do want to ask, do either one of you have any well wishes for GKO?
Of course, I wish GKO longevity, being able to sustain whatever comes their way. I know that the women of GKA are resilient and they're able to, step in the forefront at all times. And I just wish them well. I just wish, again, longevity. I know we're going to be around for a while. We are doing excellent things in the community. And I just wish that they're able to continue to do all of those things.
Thank you, Shanita. And what about yourself, Jordan?
I wish that GKO stand just as strong as the Ivies that we live by. I wish longevity, just as my sister Shanita has stated. We've been around for 80 years and counting, and I know that we're going to continue to provide service to our community. And as things evolve and grow within the chapter, that we consistently remember where we started and that our mission continues to grow.
Thank you. Thank you both of you ladies for coming in and just providing this experience that you've had with being a part of GKO. Like you both mentioned, we're a small, but we're a mighty chapter, and we're definitely growing, and we will have longevity and stick around. So again, I thank the both of you for being able to share that with us today, and thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course, no problem.